Thank you. All right, so first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for joining. And let's have some fun. Are you ready? Everybody scan the Kahoot?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so how do you secure your SDLC? I guess that everybody here knows what is SDLC. Raise your hand. If not, it's okay. Don't be shy. Cool, all right.
There is a raised hand up there.
Oh, hello, you. So software development lifecycle, I won't say too much right now because it will be part of the presentation, but really that's totally fine. I'll try to cover everything, and if something is not clear, I promise that we'll explain everything later on. So ContainerDays, yes, such an amazing event. So here's our team, the JFrog team that came to the booth. And again, thank you for joining us to come to see what we're doing, how it's working, and I hope you like it.
Yeah, we had a really, really good time. It was super nice to speak with most of you. Probably there are some people here that didn't stop by the booth, but you will meet us anyway. And yeah, thanks for everyone generally who came, even people that signed up for the raffle, came to pick up a t-shirt, and anyone who took a look at what we are doing in JFrog day in and day out.
So thanks again, and let's start, right? Let's begin. It's the last session for today. So we'll do this super quick. So who we are. I'll start if that's okay. My name is Batel Zohar, and I'm a developer advocate in JFrog. I'm working in JFrog in the last 7 years, something like that. And before that, I was an embedded engineer. I work a lot with DevOps people, platform people, and stuff like that. And my amazing colleague for today is Paula.
My name is Paula. I'm originally from Germany. I live now in Israel, and I've been working at JFrog for almost 2 years, kind of. A lot of things changed in the last 2 years. A lot of products and features were added, so it was a very interesting time. But I'm technically new to the DevOps and DevSecOps world, so I'm very excited also to hear what Batel has to teach us today. As a non-techie, very curious.
Yeah, so I promise it's not so scary, all right? It's not that scary, and we'll have fun. So, are you ready to play? Everybody here ready?
Yeah.
Paula, are you ready?
I'm also ready.
All right. So if someone here didn't scan the Kahoot yet, this is the QR code. Everyone are good? All right, I see your phone. Yeah, just do it quickly, please.
Is there anybody here who doesn't know what a Kahoot is? Just so we've got it covered.
I told you, everybody knows, right?
There are a few people.
Yeah. So basically, Kahoot is kind of a game, kind of a trivia game that everybody can add your answer. We will see who answered what. We will see who will be the amazing winner for today. And yeah, I think we're good to start, right? We're good. Awesome. So let's start. All right, so I want you to vote to the next session. 3, 2, 1. And let's start with something simple, right? Which programming language was used to create Docker? I guess that some of you may know, some of you may not, and it's totally fine. And again, just the beginning. We're going to make it even a bit more complicated. All right, 31 answers. Sure. Cool.
Oh, wow, it's a lot of answers.
Yeah.
And
wow. So most of you know the answer.
Very good.
Cool.
Very good.
Yes, it's written in Go, as most of you said. I guess you heard it already today. Of course, they basically, from what I saw, they read it in Go because it's very fast language, kind of driven by the performance, and it's easy to development, right? Everybody talked about Go those days. It was like that, and let's start, right? Let's make the next one. Are you ready? Ooh, who is Oliver? Oliver, raise your hand.
Oliver?
Nice.
The fastest one. Very good.
But you're super close to to their floor. All right. Multi-select one. Which Docker feature helps to prevent unauthorized access to Docker API by requiring secure communication? Let's take the slide from here. And I think it will finish in like 10 seconds, right? All right. Do we have any volunteer in the crowd that want to tell me what is the right answer? Oliver, come on, don't be shy. Which one? No, not for that one. All right, the next one is yours. All right.
Anyone?
So, yeah, anyone? Cool. So the answer is Docker Content Trust. I guess that some of you heard about it today already. I think that you know how it works. But the idea here is to make sure that the communication is secure. Right? You remember we talked about it?
Secure communication is very important.
Exactly. We want to make sure that everything is secure. We can't expose some of the APIs that already have as default inside our Docker client, and we want to make sure that we're safe and everybody are okay. So let's go to our next question, or we want some more information about Docker Content Trust. I think all of you know that, right? Let's see what the Kahoot said. Let's see how many people really vote to the right answer. Oh, wow. Okay. So you don't need some extra information. It's pretty impressive. 24 people.
Actually, it's only 11,
only
you see?
11.
Docker API
Right.
tokens.
I'm still with the green ones. So maybe it's worth to talk a bit about that. So, Docker Content Trust, security feature that if you didn't heard about it before, I really recommend just to try it whenever you are getting home or just want to open your laptop. It's using cryptography signature to make sure that the integrity of container images with DCT images are signed. So we want to make sure that everything is secure. I saw some people actually in the booth talking about communication and securing, and that's why we added it. And we want to generate a unique digital signature for any image. So, next question is, which best practice helps to enhance Docker container security?
I think that after today, probably everybody should have an answer for that.
Yeah, probably. Dennis! Where's Dennis? Woo!
Very good.
Very good. All right, so which best practice, again, helps to enhance Docker container security? So we have limiting container privileges, we have avoiding image scanning, running container as a root, or sharing container secrets in plain text. What do you think?
I feel like this one even I would probably be able to answer.
First of all, I know that you can answer all of them. Okay, wow, 41. So everybody got the right answer. I don't even need to talk about it. That's amazing.
But I would like maybe if you can say what does it mean exactly, container privileges?
Sure. So let's talk a bit about it. So here we are. So which best practice enhance Docker container security? And let's talk a bit about why it's important to limit container privileges in Docker container, right? So I think the three main reasons is the reduced attack surface, isolation, and preventing escalation. So first, the reduce of the attack surface is pretty easy, kind of, right? So when you limit the container, you reduce the access to the host system. You know that the container run inside your system, so we want to make sure that it's limiting and you don't be able to just take everything, all the resources that you have there, right? Yeah. Remember we talked about the phone yesterday and how we can get it. So we want to make sure that we won't just use everything that we can and we will limit it in some way. Isolation, again, it's the whole idea of containers. We want something that it's meant to be isolated, right? It's not exactly the host system, and it's kind of a system that's running in my system, and I want to make sure that it's very focused in my application, in a thing that I would like to run there, or anything that I just created. And of course, we always want to make sure that it's secure. And the last, which is, again, it's pretty easy, preventing escalation. I guess that in those 2 days, you heard a lot about security, privileges, escalation, and how we can easily change my current position from the simple developer to the attacker, and how I can change some privileges and try to do some malicious things inside my system. So in that case, I can easily try to prevent it and make it limited as possible. Of course, we still need some privileges as developers, right? We still need to run some script. We still need some other stuff to run inside my system, but I want to reduce it as much as possible. Are we good? Are
yes,
we clear?
I understood.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So the next questions, guys, it will be harder. Let's see. So.
Yeah, first let's see the results. Okay,
Ooh,
Dennis.
Dennis is still raw. All right. Which Docker features helps to control runtime behavior of containers by setting limits and constraints? Oliver, I guess you can do that. I trust you. There wasn't kind of a music in the Kahoot, maybe this one?
Oh, wow.
Right? At least we have something.
To raise the tension, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Wow. All right,
What are the results?
14 correct. 10, not exactly.
Half and half.
Yeah, but we got all the answers, even Docker parameters. That's nice.
Who
We got
clicked Docker
everything.
parameters? No,
No,
just
come
kidding.
on. No. All right. So we got it. It's again Docker resource constraint. And let's talk a bit about it. Everybody knows this feature. He knows how it works. So basically, as we saw before, we want to limit it as much as we can. Okay, it's not the right place. Let's put it here. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why it's here. But this would be better, right? If we can really read it.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, so as we talked before, we want to make sure that we are limit our current configuration as much as possible, that we replace the amount of system resources and the CPU memory, network, bandwidth, everything. We don't want that the Docker have all the resources that we have in our computer, right? We want to make sure that, for example, I will provide my Docker 20% of the resources. I don't want that it waste and take everything we have. Of course, by default, you can do the 100%, but still we want to make sure that we can use it in different directions. Is it okay? Are we good?
Yeah.
What about the tohuvabohu?
I think it's
We'll get her,
yeah. It's getting more complicated by the minute, basically.
Yes, exactly. So, ooh, all right.
Okay,
Someone either
Dennis
got
leading
some,
the score.
and Julian and Chris. Look, we are changing it. That's good. And Franklin is the highest climber. Cool. All right, so what is the purpose of Docker Compose file in SDLC, in Software Development Lifecycle? Why we need Docker Compose file, right? Why it's so interesting, maybe not. Is it really necessary?
Okay, 30 answers.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. 20 people right.
Wow.
To define multi-container application. That's pretty cool. All right, so it's kind of the basic of Docker Compose, so I won't say too much about it. But let's talk a bit about what we should do and what not, right? Because to say SDLC, you're hearing it everywhere, you're talking about software development lifecycle, why it's important, why everybody wants to release their software as soon as possible, to add more and more features, to create more automation, to release fast in a simple microservices in most of the cases, right? Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that if something happening or if I have any bug, I can fix it very immediately. And I want to make sure that I'm focusing on a specific component in most of the cases. So yes, it's defined multi-container application like we saw in Docker Compose that usually help me to define a file with different application, different containers. And actually, I wanted to take a minute to talk about why it's important to keep it simple, right? Some of you may create this side, which is pretty simple Docker Compose file. But I really would want to hear you and talk a bit about why it's important to keep it simple. Mm-hmm. So first of all, I believe, that Docker file should describe the image or the container blueprint. I hope that other people will agree with me that it should be very, very simple. I don't need something super complicated. If I need something complicated, I can run it as a script inside of it. Yeah. But I want to keep it readable, that any developer can understand what's going on there. And if the base image needs them modified, just modify it. Right? You don't need to add something that will call something outside the base image, then to modify it. It will be much, much more complicated afterwards to help to maintain it. It could be much, much harder. Now, Docker files should contain independent operation only in order to provide repeatable builds, right? So if we're running the same build again and again, we want to make sure that we won't have too many messy files over there, too many crazy scripts over there. So everything will be keep simple, right? You are hearing it every day. So many people that just coming to you and telling you that there's so many things.
Yes. This is the main thing that I'm confronted with, or the main complaint that I hear from people that are using JFrog, not using JFrog yet. It's mostly, we want to keep it simple. We have too much information already. We have too many people in the mix, too many opinions, and we just want everything to be reduced down a little bit, back to the basics.
All right, cool. So again, how you said it in German? Like,
yeah, we spoke about it yesterday, because in German we say tohu vabohu when things get so complicated that nobody sees anymore where is the beginning and where is the end. And actually, it translates very well to Hebrew also, so we spoke about it yesterday. That
it was super cool. I still need the line that you told me in German yesterday, the other one.
Seid ihr bereit zu spielen?
Yeah, this one. What? How you even said it? Spielen? What?
Seid ihr bereit?
Seid ihr bereit? All right. So do and do not do, right? So of course, let's start with the do. From my rebase, we would like to create it simple. We would like to just get the project, the entry. I don't want to mess up with other scripts. I just want something simple. I know it sometimes could be really hard to keep it simple, but really try again to think what will happen in the next day that another developer will read your image, read your script, read your Docker file. Doesn't really matter. If the compose file in that case, we want to make sure that everybody can read it and understand it. So yes, let's try to keep it simple.
Yeah. Now it's we're on to the last question, I think, right?
Yeah, but it's not exactly the last.
But Dennis is on a roll.
Dennis is on a road. Wow. 5 correct answers in a row. That's impressive, Dennis. Are you ready? How many containers run as root?
This one seems a bit more tricky to answer.
Yeah, that would
Only
be a bit
26,
tricky.
27. There is a wrong answer.
Oh, wow.
Impressive.
I really expected 4 less correct answers. That's really, really impressive. Do we have anybody from SysDig here in the room, maybe? All right. So let's talk a bit about this crazy number of 76% of the Dockers that run as root, right? So, yeah, 76, it's crazy. So before a year and a half, SysDig created an article that's talking about cloud-native security and usage reports. So they searched for almost 3 million containers, and 76 of it was running as root. And please raise your hand if you heard today or yesterday why we don't need to run our container as root.
Yeah.
That's it? 3?
That's it?
Yeah, I expected for more. Like, all the security people that said that it's not okay, we can't do that, and all of this. So yeah, I think it's a crazy number. Like, let's talk a bit about that for a second. Think about it. When I'm running it as root, we can do so many things. We can leverage our escalation. We have tons of information that we can take from here. And basically, I still think it's a crazy number. Like the froggy over there, it's like 76%. It's a lot. Especially when we're hearing that it's not okay, right? We need to do so, make sure that we are not running as root, our escalation are pretty low. We talked about the escalation.
Yeah, especially if you're not supposed to do it at all, then it's quite a high amount, honestly.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. So let's try to deep dive about it a little bit more. So in JFrog, we have our research team that all of their job is to find cool stuff like that and make sure that we have the extra information or extra thing that's related to our research. So we took the 10 most downloaded images from Docker Hub, right? And apparently 78% of the reported common CV on top of the Docker Hub images are not really exploitable, right? And raise your hand if you install any security tool and then you got tons of information and vulnerabilities and maybe they are not applicable at all. Cool. So I see all the DevOps security guys. That's cool.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it today at least 25 times.
Yeah,
in the
at
booth.
least 25. It was much more. Like I think the whole day. But you can see here how many it's really applicable. I think personally it's a crazy number, right? Because whenever I'm seeing a lot of critical vulnerabilities, a lot of information that I'm having something in my environment, everybody's starting to be a bit afraid, right? Like you had Log4j. Did you suffer from Log4j? Yes, no, yes, all right. How much time it cost you to solve Log4j, for example? If that's okay to ask, sorry. Yeah, of course.
Wow.
All right,
so basically from 2021 to 2022, you were busy with it. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else here having affected by Log4j?
Yeah, you guys, you raised your hands, right?
How long it took you to solve it, please? Yeah, sorry, I don't know German yet, but how long it took you? And thanks.
We shut down one backend completely.
Wow.
Another project in 1 week, but I wasn't part of the team, so
Wow. All right. So it's taking time, right? Whenever we're getting, in that case, it was really applicable and really critical, but it's taking time also to investigate and solve the issue, to find all the packages that contains this log4j in that case, or any other package.
Yeah, I mean, every day there is a new news alert of some vulnerability that has been discovered, and then I guess that it's very nice if somebody writes in brackets behind it, but actually it's not that important, guys. It's okay. Don't panic.
Don't panic. Just don't panic. Yeah, but as Paula mentioned, it's really happening every day, right? There are so many packages that we are all using that maybe tomorrow we will find that contains something vulnerable in such a way or another. So actually, we want to talk a bit about what we can do if we have tons of vulnerabilities, right? So in our case, we just scan one of the images that we have here. I have all of the vulnerabilities, as you can see here, by the severity. I have 2 high, 27 medium, maybe 42 low, and 1 applicable. From all of this information, only one vulnerability was really applicable. And I got a lot of security issues. Licenses I didn't scan here, I think, but I got a lot of security issues. And let's talk a bit about the applicable or not, all right? So what do you think about kind of an imaginary solution that's just telling you, you really have this specific issue, this specific function, this specific file inside your organization? Right? Maybe it can save me all of the time of the investigation of the file on different locations, different teams, and so on, like Log4j. Like, I really use it. I really suffered from here, and this is the exact path that I need to look for. So basically, this is what we're trying to do with the applicable solution and JFrog Advanced Security in that case. So it will look like this. Wait a second. All right, so while it's loading, let's talk a bit about the platform. I guess that some of you saw this slide before, and I don't know why it's so slow. Yeah, yes. Here is our slide. So first, we have Artifactory, which is our binary repository manager that helped me to store all of my containers, my packages, my applications, and so on. Then we can make sure that we are secure, distribute it whenever we want to our edges, or IoT devices. But as we saw before, it's not enough, right? I still need to investigate it. I have my information over here. Is it really applicable or not applicable like we had before? Yes. I want to make sure that my developers, my security team, my people or all over won't waste their time by a CV that it's not really applicable, because there are so many things that are not so applicable so easily. So maybe it's not the right path. So
Yeah, and it also makes it much more fun if you only have one thing to solve and you get it done. You
so
can
that's
get a
it.
hook
You
after
just turn up, you just throw your
did
pen and go
job.
on. Yeah, exactly. So, first of all, let's see who is the winner, right? Before we will deep dive, who is the winner? On the third place, Julian. Adidas. Who is Adidas?
And it is
Dennis. Woo!
Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Yeah. So after this talk, come with us to the booth, and we'll get you a really cool T-shirt. But actually, I wanted to talk a bit more about the applicable stuff over here. So let's stop the annoying music and talk a bit about the platform, if it will work. All right, great.
It's der Vorführeffekt.
Of course, it's the jinx. It should be like that. All right. So I think I cover SDLC. Where's my SDLC guys over there? So software development lifecycle, right? It's basically, let's just focus on it for a second. So we have kind of a circle that we're running every time, right? There is some simple rules or simple, let's call it levels, that I need to make sure that I'm having whenever I'm developing my application, my software, or whatever you want to call it. And I want to make sure that I have all the steps to be secure and to design it as expected. Like, even whenever you have any idea, there is kind of a step to make it as a software. So that's the idea here, to make sure that I have all the steps. So let's go back to my image here.
This is the one that we saw before in the presentation.
Yeah, I'm trying to be the same. Like, if I show them something in the presentation, it has to be the same image, right? So first I have the layers here, but I wanted to focus today on the data and the security. So as we saw before, we have a lot of violations. 8 of them are high. Maybe I need to call my people and make some crazy blocking in the environment, but maybe not. So let's talk a bit about the applicable. So with our platform, we can make sure if the specific file or specific information is really inside our binary, inside our environment, and if it's really happening in our case. So we have the summary, of course, which is pretty simple. Remediation, how if sudo is not in use in device, remove it all together. So we have some advisory of other package here. Of course, we have the details. Everybody loves to read the details, right? With all of the information.
Well, this is really all of the research is provided by our in-house team.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're writing it like,
all
it's amazing.
Of the information, like they collected for the article, they're trying to provide you more and more packages and more information that might be related to that. Now, let's talk a bit about the contextual analysis. So this is my favorite part. Like, if I have any security issues, I don't really need to call the other teams, make some alarms, and get crazy about it, because I can easily see, here is the CV, this is what applicable. I need to search for a specific path, which is pretty simple, kind of. The vulnerable configuration file suitors was found, so I found the file. And what does the scanner check? So the scanner check for this specific file. So basically, we're creating a scanner that looks for the specific information that we have inside the CV, and it saves tons of time. Think about the idea that you can just see if it's applicable or not. You don't really need to deep dive. And now I need a German weird sentence that you said. How it was?
I don't remember.
It's really hard. I wish I would learn German one day, but
I don't remember.
You don't remember? All right, me neither. It was like, finding something in the dark, something like that. Like,
die Nadel im Heuhaufen finden.
What she said.
It's very easy and simple, very easy to explain also. Die Nadel im Heuhaufen finden.
Sure, if you said so, sure. So this is our solution. We can scan the binary, we can make sure that we found the package and see if it's applicable or not in our case.
So basically, the responsibility is to keep it as simple as possible.
Exactly.
And if you cannot, then to put an extra layer of security so you know that you can sleep well at night.
Exactly, but everybody loves another layers, right? To add another tool to secure this one and this one and this one. And here we're trying to collect everything into one platform. One platform that have it all, that can make us more secure. And this is our idea. And I hope we cover almost everything. Any questions so far? Wow, you are so nice. Like, I'm expecting to get something, you know, like...
Some challenges.
Challenges, yeah, like...
Criticism.
Any brave someone in the crowd that would like to share his challenges? Yes, hi. The image, sorry, can you please repeat?
The node.
Oh, the Node.js image. I'm not sure I have it here, but let's try.
Someone wants to see the whole thing.
Exactly. But we can do that together. We can burn it. Let's see if I have here. Even log4j, maybe. Ooh, here. No, come on. This one. I want the second one. Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure it's the vulnerable package. Yeah, it was 2 point something that was super vulnerable. Yeah, and I need to activate it. So we'll go together and we'll download it and we'll see how much we will get there. Is that okay? Is that the deal? Awesome. Other questions? Something is not clear? Are we good?
Did anybody learn anything new today at the end of the day?
Yes.
I mean, it is the end of the day. So
yes.
I think you can.
Also for you up there, it's also the end of the day, isn't it?
Awesome, you.
That's okay. We went through a whole day together. I feel you.
I hope you have fun together.
Yeah, of course, we did. I mean, all the way up there, but you know.
Aww.
All right, so thank you very much for your session. I think you mentioned that you're still at the booth for a little bit because you're giving Dennis a prize.
Yes.
So I think other people can also still find you there. And then for the rest of you, there is a Women in Tech meetup happening, and I think it starts at 6-ish. But it is still a way out, so plan your trip carefully. And then also there's karaoke tonight, so look for the Kubaroki Twitter handle if that's your thing.
Fun.
And otherwise, thank you so much again for your talk. Let's give it up one more time.
Thank you very much.
Guys.